In this edition of the Parliament Report, commuters should brace for fare increase, low-income housing coming, and legislation proposed to harmonise tax treatment for charities. Commuters are being warned to brace for a fare increase. Transport and Works Minister Dr. Omar Davies says the public transportation sector is teetering on the brink of a collapse and requires a fare increase to prevent its demise. Opening the sectoral debate in Gordon House on May 7, the Transport Minister said that with the changes in price, the exchange rate and the price of fuel, it is impossible for transport operators to conduct a viable business on a fare hike granted 3 years ago. However, his opposition counterpart Carl Semuda has strongly rejected the notion of a fare increase for the state-owned Jamaica Urban Transit Company, the JUTC. Semuda, who made his contribution to the debate on the same day, highlighted what he said was the inefficient manner in which the JUTC was being managed and indicated it should therefore be denied a fare hike. The opposition spokesman said the other operators in the sector, including taxi and bus owners, should be granted a fare increase. He said the company had failed to make good on improvements promised last year. According to Semuda, the JUTC's operations have severely deteriorated. Semuda noted that despite getting 50 new buses, which brought the fleet up to 474, only 250 buses were fit to go on the road. He noted that a shortage of 130 buses translates into a daily loss of about $3.25 million or approximately $1 billion per year. The government is targeting a mass rollout of housing solutions costing less than $1 million for low-income Jamaicans. Transport Works and Housing Minister Dr. Omar Davies says the charity institution Food for the Poor, FFP, has pioneered the construction of houses for US $9,500. According to Dr. Davies, the collaboration between Food for the Poor and the National Housing Trust in terms of the construction of concrete units presents hope to a segment of the housing market which previously had little expectation of owning their own unit. He told legislators in Gordon House, the seat of Jamaica's parliament, on May 7 that the cost of the house does not take into account infrastructure such as land. And finally, in the Parliament Report, the government is moving to pass legislation in less than 3 weeks which will harmonise the tax treatment of charities across tax types. It will also remove the ministerial discretion of the Minister of Finance to grant waivers to charitable organizations. The bill, which was tabled in Parliament on May 7, is a critical structural benchmark that has to be achieved if Jamaica is to pass its first test under the International Monetary Fund Extended Fund Facility. It proposes to amend sections of the Customs Act, General Consumption Tax Act, the Income Tax Act, Property Tax Act, Stamp Duty Act, and Transfer Tax Act. The bill also proposes that in order to be considered a charitable organization, entities must perform certain functions for the public benefit. These functions include the prevention or relief of poverty, the advancement of education, the advancement of religion, the advancement of health or saving of lives, and the advancement of environmental protection or animal welfare. This has been another edition of the Parliament Report. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Edmund Campbell saying, walk good.